It's always a great joy to meet friends. I think there is nothing more important in life than to have a good friend. I think so many of our problems are arising out of our loneliness, that we feel alone, and if we have one good friend, it helps a lot. A friend who can really be a friend at all times, not one who is temporary and we just make casual relationships and then we go away, but somebody who can be a friend forever. The big advantage of being on a spiritual path is that a spiritual colleague of ours, a spiritual co-traveler, becomes a friend and remains a friend forever. Not only does a spiritual co-traveler become a friend forever, he also becomes an unconditional friend. His love for us becomes unconditional. Whereas most of the friendships we have in this world and most of the relationships we have are based upon business transaction. I do this for you, you do this for me. And if you don't do it, then we are no longer friends. So it looks like this type of friendship is not true friendship because it's not based upon unconditional love. True friendship is based upon totally unconditional love, which means there is no judgment involved. Friends never judge each other. Friends accept each other. Friends accept each other as they are. They don't say, if you are a good person, then I will be your friend. They don't make these conditions upon friendship. And the advantage of having a co-traveler on the spiritual path is that the spiritual path itself makes you non-judgmental and makes you a true friend. It's a great friendship, I tell you. Master's friendship is outside and inside. Outside friendship is great, but it's a human being. A human being whom you can't have access to too often. Inside you have access all the time. Therefore, develop this relationship with the Master inside. When you repeat the words that the Master has given you at initiation at the time, they are a protection against any negative entity coming to you, and it also protects you from your own mind, trying to make a picture of the Master. How many of you, when you were trying to talk to the Master, and you repeated the words and the face disappeared? How many of you did that? Yes. They were made up by the mind. If the face disappears, then wait. It was a picture your mind was trying to make, and later on, when the picture, real Master will come, and he's waiting to come, by the way. When he comes, the repetition will only make the Master's face strong and smiling. And he'll say, yes, I am still here. When perfect living Masters initiate us, and they give us some words, they pick up words which have association of ideas with experience still to come. And that is why they prepare us in advance. So those words are useful for holding our attention and blocking the mind from thinking of other words like any other words. And yet they are also meaningful because they are preparing us for a future experience. And thirdly, when perfect living Masters give those words, they empower those words. And the words have no longer the same connotation that they had. They become empowered as a protective force against negativity. Because perfect living Masters know that this is a world of negativity. A lot of negativity here. And the negativity attacks us. So the perfect living Masters give us a means to prevent the negativity from attacking us. And by those words, by repetition of the words, we prevent negativity from attacking us outside or inside, and smoothens our way on the spiritual path. That is initiation by perfect living Master. And that is how they teach us to meditate, to go from stage to stage, and then they join us at the astral plane and they take us back home. Their guarantee is that we'll go together. But we'll go together in two different forms. One, guidance from the physical form of a Master here, who cannot be with us 24/7, but we can meet whenever we can, and guidance from a Master inside who is with us 24/7. This little gap, when we are only with the master sometimes, occasionally, and when we are with the master all the time, is the gap where we use our free will, should I go, not go, and all those questions of doubt arise. Once we are there, all these finish. In the rest of the journey, one doesn't have to worry about. It is all in the company of the master who knows the entire route to our true home. This is my seva to my master, not to you. It's my seva to my master. I am doing this only as service to my master, and I'm very happy that he's given me this service. He gave me other service too. I used to fan him with a big fan. I was so small that the Sevadar would not let me handle that fan. But great master would say, give him the fan. So fan was, I remember, bigger than me, but I could still hold it. I see no difference in that seva or in this, or any seva. I am saying this to you because I hear from some people that that was my seva, it was a better seva, it was taken away by so and so. How can we get into these experiences of jealousy over something as beautiful as seva? Seva is seva no matter what it is. Great master used to say, meditation is a credit account. One day you will get benefits. Seva is a cash account. You get paid right there and then. Your seva will give you the benefits straight away. So that is why it was very good fortune for many of us to do that seva. It does not matter. Seva is of three kinds. We can do seva with the body, which means we can help physically, we can carry some stuff that master wants us to carry. For example, the satsang in the dera was being made and we all used to carry bricks. I carried only one brick. Another Satsangi, we call him Mastanaji from Balochistan, we used to work together. He carried a whole basket. But I told great master, Mastanaji carries more bricks than I. He said, no, the weight of the bricks doesn't count. One brick is equal to the whole basket, because that's all you can carry. Don't say, I only carry one brick. One brick was as good as a basket of bricks. It didn't matter what seva we are doing. That's bodily seva. Then we can do seva with simpler seva, with cash donation, because the dera was run on donations only. And we could just write a check or just put the money in the box. It was also seva. No difference. So seva with your money, seva with the body are easy seva. Third seva is seva with your mind. Service with your mind. That means when you meditate, donate that meditation as seva to your master. How do we do that? Now we are saying we are doing meditation to see our master, to find something inside, to get something for ourselves. It's not a donation, but supposing you have 1 hour of session, today my 1 hour meditation is merely an offering to the master. I want nothing. I'm just offering 1 hour seva in meditation. That's seva with the mind. We should do that too. Whatever opportunity we get to do the seva of different kinds, we should do it. There is an indirect benefit also that when we do seva, it creates some humility in us, and is also a little treatment for our ego. Because when we do seva, we are all equal. There was a colonel in America, and he became a Satsangi, and the colonel came to Dera in Air Force plane, American Air Force plane. And when he reached the Dera, he found a lot of people doing what they called mitti seva. Mitti seva, they were trying to fill up the bluffs on the river Beas and make more land on which the bigger future buildings came up, other facilities came up. So when he went and saw, he had a suitcase with him. So he saw a lot of laborers working, carrying mitti on their head, their dirt on their head. And he said, "Hey, come here, one of you. Can you help me with the bag?" "Yes, sir." "Oh, you speak English? Very good. I have to stay in the guest house. Take this bag to the guest house." "All right, sir." So the man carried the bag, and this American colonel walked, and at the end, he takes out a dollar bill. He says, "This is a tip for you. You know, this is $1, much more valuable than your rupees." Man said, "Sir, I don't take any tips." No, it's good. You can convert it into rupees and have a good time." So the man said, "No, sir, I won't take any tips. I am doing seva for my master. Carrying your bag, I have done seva for my master. That's more than enough, more than any amount of money you can give me." So Colonel was very impressed. The man had done this without any. In the evening, he had a meeting and he saw a man in a suit with a tie, looked like the same man. He said, "Are you the guy who carried my suitcase?" "Yes, sir, I am the same Sevadar." And he found out he is a billionaire textile owner of so many factories in India. And at the Seva, he was like any ordinary person who could help him with the bag. This colonel was so impressed, so affected by that. And he told me this story. He said, "I can't imagine that seva of that kind can make all people equal. And that is a cure for some of our egos." He said, "That man cured my ego. I went and was showing off as a colonel of the American Air Force, and that man taught me a lesson. He was 10 times richer than I am, and yet he was so humble that he carried my suitcase like a porter." So seva of every kind is good and useful for us as an addition to our meditation. So please try to take advantage whenever you can of these opportunities that come. Welcome, friends, brothers and sisters, co-travelers on this spiritual path of Sant-Mat. We have come to the third and final day of this 3-day program here in New Delhi. I am very happy that I got a chance to meet so many of you. You are all following a same path with the same destination, which is our true home, our Sachkhand. Our lives are different. Our destiny is different. Pralabdha is different. Our faces are different. Our clothes we wear are different. All these differences are only over here. In our true home, there is no difference. In our true home, we are all exactly the same. We are pure souls, pure Atma, which has no birth and no death, never comes into reincarnation and never goes out of it. That is our true nature. We get together here so that we can find this truth about our own selves, where we belong. And that is where we can go while we are still in human body. We should not miss this opportunity. We should not take it for granted that we are always human beings. If you can have the capacity to look back into your previous lives, you'll be astonished that we have had so many different life forms, that we have been trees and insects and birds and mammals. They were nobody else, they were the same souls. And we've gone through a whole cycle of different types of birth. 8.4 million types of birth are registered. And out of 8.4 million types of birth which you can take, human being is only one. It's a rare thing. To be human is the greatest opportunity for us to get something which we can never get in any other form. You cannot even talk about Sachkhand, you cannot dream about Sachkhand if you are a tree or a bird or an animal or an angel or a god. All these are devoid of the possibility of going to a true home. The only form of life in the whole creation where you can seek and find your true home and go with a perfect living master is the human life. So it's a very great opportunity for us. Don't waste it by living like animals. Just eating, drinking, spending your time, having children, sex, just like other animals. If we live like them, we have wasted our life. The special privilege we have of being able to seek and find the truth within ourselves. We have a limited opportunity for that, a limited window of opportunity. Let's not miss it. What is the purpose of my coming to you here and sharing these things with you? The purpose is that even though we are on the spiritual path, the distractions of this physical world, they are holding us back here, keep us away from remaining on the track. We get initiated by perfect living masters. We have all the resources to go within and find out where our true home is. We have the resources to travel, yet we waste our time giving all our attention on external things. We try to buy things outside, run to marketplace, go with the fashions going on. We buy more clothes, buy more houses, buy more cars, and we spend all our time in acquiring these objects, realizing fully well that nobody has ever been able to carry these things with him when they die. We try to make friends here. We fall in love with people. We try to make our children the most important thing of our life, our parents, our children, our brothers, sisters. And when we die, none of them are going with us. Don't we see this every day? We can go and see people dying. We go to the cremation ground with them, and we see that they have taken nothing with them. And everybody is left behind. Yet, how much time we are spending, how much attention we are spending on these things. Nothing will go with us. We are trying to make those things our own, which will never become our own. And the real thing which can become our own, a friend whose friendship can take us beyond this life, beyond this physical body, whose friendship can take us directly to our true home, the permanent Satsangi. We don't care for that. We put it on very low priority. When we have a perfect master in our life, a Sant Sadguru has entered your life, what else do you want? You found something that you wanted for so many lifetimes. And you get it, and you still ignore that and give higher importance and attention to outside things. What kind of disciples are we? We call ourselves Satsangis. You know what the word Satsangi means? Who keeps the song of the truth, of Sat. Are we doing that? Is our life patterned like that? Don't you think there is a time to look back and see, have we made any use of this great opportunity given to us? Have we made use of the fact that we have found companionship and friendship in a perfect master who is talking to us from Satsangi? Have we ever taken advantage of it? How are we wasting every moment of our life? Every breath we are wasting. And what is he giving us? He is giving us every opportunity to make this life successful, to make the inner life successful, and guaranteeing that he can take us back to our true home. My purpose of visiting here is not try to convince you about anything. You are already convinced. My purpose is to remind you that look, make this a high priority. It's the most important thing in life. There is nothing more important than this opportunity to be able to meditate, to go within and get the friendship of your master and travel together to your true home, Satsangi. Nothing is more important. If my visit here and spending these 3 days with you has given you the urge to go back to regular meditation, has given you the urge to think of how much you have been missing your master, if it has created that passion in you, my visit is successful. But if it is merely another discourse, another satsang that came in from one ear and we went out from the other ear, and it was good while you were listening, when you go home you left it behind, then it's no use. Then my coming and talking to you was of no use. So the whole idea of my visit here and sharing with you is that I have benefited from my experience with a perfect living master. Hazur Maharaj Baba Sawan Singh has altered my life, and it can alter everybody's life. It's the greatest opportunity, and I'm sharing an experience so that you don't think it is something in a story-like thing that's just made up in the air for us. It's a practical thing, scientific thing. It can be practiced in scientific lines, and it can be explored in scientific lines. Let us not make Sant Mat into a religion. When you make a religion, You go into rituals, ceremonies, what we have to do, do's and don'ts. We go so much into do's and don'ts, we forget the real purpose. I was talking to a few friends just now, before I came here, about when I went to the United States first time. I met some Satsangis. I was very happy to meet them, that they are co-travelers. We are going together to Sachkhand together, and we are happy to get together here. They said, let us go and buy some groceries. So we went to a grocery store, and they began to look at the labels of everything that was there. The fine print, some had to take out their special glasses to read those fine prints on those labels. What does it contain, ingredients? I said, if you want to buy vegetables, and it says vegetables, what are you looking at? No, we never know what they can put into these things. We spend 3-4 hours on looking at those little labels. I suggested to them, if you were just to do half the time of meditation, the labels won't matter at all. These labels are not supposed to be santmat. That's only a means for us to see that if we tend to be vegetarian, we can be vegetarian by asking for vegetarian things. If you ask for a vegetarian thing and get vegetarian thing, and you're bothered about it, one friend of mine said, I always go to the kitchen of a restaurant, and there's a bar upon it that you cannot, no customer can go in. He says, I have to go to check what you are doing there. And he spent hours quarreling with them. If the same time was spent in meditation, it wouldn't even matter what he was eating. See how we shift our attention from the real thing of going within and finding the truth, which is true santmat. And from that we are shifting ourselves to seeing what is outside, to verify outside things and making these things more important than meditation. What good is being a vegetarian if you are angry all the time, if you are lustful all the time, if you are trying to gather things all the time? Vegetarianism doesn't care all those things, and those are more important than vegetarianism. So we put our emphasis on the wrong thing, and then we say, we are Satsangis. What kind of Satsangis are we? Satsangi is one who is so immersed in love for the master, who has become a mastana, an intoxicated one. That's a Satsangi. A Satsangi is one who doesn't care for what anybody is saying. Dukh sukh dono samkar jano, or man apmana. If you can take the dukh and sukh at equal par, and also whether somebody praises you or insults you, you are a Satsangi. But we are bothered by what people say. We are trying to keep up with other people's opinions, that they decide whether we are happy or not. So what I am trying to tell you is that the real secret of the spiritual path which we all want to follow is to immerse yourself in the love and devotion of your master. Think of him all the time. Remember how much he is giving you. Everything that you had is given to you. There is so much to be thankful for. If you look at the good fortune you have and compare it with people who don't have that, compare with people who are living in such great poverty and distress and suffering, compare with them, you will be able to say thank you all the time. You will be full of gratitude. And that gratitude is worth more than collecting all these things. Then we start collecting books, that by reading books we will be able to get something. Reading of books has never taken anybody anywhere. I would like to be one single person in the whole world who says I got enlightened by reading books, any number of books. Books only give us some information, and if we don't act upon those books, we are getting nothing. In the Bani it says, Padiye jete bars, padiye jete maas, padiye jete arja, padiye jete swas. You can keep on reading with every breath of yours. You can keep on reading every month. You can keep on reading every day. You can keep on reading your whole life. Nanak lekha egal or home chakhanchas. The thing is only one which is not in those books, and the rest is all home, ego. I have read so much. The I becomes strong by reading so much. What good is that reading? It's not the books that's going to give anything. Of course, if you want information, books are good for information, but they don't enlighten anybody. Enlightenment comes from within, where the light is, and that's where you get enlightenment. So unless we practice what we have been taught, and unless we carry out the instructions of our Guru, of our Master, we are not really taking the benefit of this great opportunity. I came here just to tickle your fancy about what you have, and to tell you This is what should be given the highest priority. And if I have succeeded, I am very happy about it. But I am very happy to see the love and devotion that you all have. I have met you individually. When I saw you coming to take prasad, I could see how devoted you are. Maintain that momentum. Maintain that devotion. You will not be able to cross the astral plane with Simran. You will not be able to cross even the causal plane just by merely hearing the sound. You can go into the state of Parbrahm and Sachkhand only with the help of love and devotion for the perfect master who is calling you from beyond that. It's a call from there that takes us there. So therefore, keep the big things in mind. Love and devotion for the master, constantly thinking about him, using meditation to develop that love and devotion, not using meditation as a mechanical thing by itself. So if you can do that, you will benefit a lot.